help you?
I need guns.
Hi, welcome to the Film Prosepector, a channel where I'm searching for gold in the sludge of DVDs and Blu-rays of films I've never seen before. This week it's the start of the 2026 degrees of Kevin Bacon. We'll taste a rasher now and then see where the year takes us before we get back to the swine again at the end of December. 2007's Death Sentence stars our Kev as Nick Hume, a risk assessment guy whose boring office job and perfect family life are about to be torn apart.
It says that people with kids live longer than people with no kids. People with 2 live longer than people with 1. Smoking is bad. Speeding is bad. Deaths in the family are bad. Divorce is bad. It's just kind of nice to see that all that junk is still true.
He hasn't planned his journey, or got sat-nav, or noticed his fuel running low, because that would prevent the film from happening. So he pulls into a petrol station late at night with his son Brendan. Bad things happen as a young thug murders Brendan to earn his place in a gang.
Get your gun! Do this, or you're not one of us! Do it!
Hey, you can do this.
Kill that motherfucker, Joey.
That's my boy.
Fortunately, he doesn't get very far with his getaway.
Fuck you! Motherfucker!
Nick picks Joe Darley out of the lineup as the kid responsible.
5. Number 5.
It's Joe Darley.
He's a kid.
He's a runt, almost 23. And he's an animal.
But at the last minute he decides not to ID him in court, as he was only going to serve a couple of years thanks to a plea deal.
It was dark. There were a lot of them. I can't be sure anymore.
Instead, Nick starts to get other ideas about what might just be an appropriate punishment for Joe and his gang.
I'm dismissing this case. Mr. Darley, you are released from custody.
Death Sentence is one of a number of mid to late 2000s films which took the 80s and 90s yuppie nightmare films and turned them into yuppie revenge. The American middle-aged, middle and upper class were no longer just suffering through violent invasion into their lives by the poor and the unhinged. Now they're actively fighting back, using a previously unknown or long forgotten particular set of skills. Of course, breaking the social norms this way always has repercussions.
Just try to get through tonight, Mr. Hume. And be grateful you're still alive. But if you started a war, God help you.
Nick follows Joe and his gang back to their hideout. He tools up and returns later, finding it surprisingly easy to kill Joe. This brings about some sort of level of guilt, and then some trouble at work and home.
If anything like that ever happened to me, I don't know, I think I'd snap.
Well, you really don't know what you do until it happens. Surprise yourself.
Excuse me, Nick. Detective Wallace is here to see you.
But it also brings Joe's brother and gang leader Billy, played by Garrett Hedlund, into their lives.
He wasn't my friend. He was my brother. And now I'm coming for the rest of your family. You just bought them a death sentence, motherfucker.
Wait. Don't!
Determined to get revenge for killing his brother, Billy and the gang target Nick at work.
Nice office, motherfucker.
What the hell do you want?
That's the gift of freedom, baby.
Sir, should we escort this person out? Sir!
Free from wondering how you're gonna die now. You're free from wondering if you're gonna die alone, you hear?
Get him out of here.
And then the whole family at home. This eventually leads to a final confrontation, as Nick realises that to avenge his old life he has to first abandon it. But not before a montage of him becoming a badass, of course. And a trip to buy some guns from John Goodman.
Don't let me smell fear on you. Fear is for the enemy. Fear and bullets. Lots of fucking bullets.
Who just happens to be Billy and Joe's father, though that family doesn't seem to be quite as close as Nick's.
What you don't get is, I care about what happens to you, because it can fucking hurt me! Now, do you need any more fucking instructions?
No thanks, Dad. I'm taking the car.
If you're here to see some bacon action, that's mostly in the last 20 minutes. There were a couple of well-handled outbursts earlier, but it's only in the last act where he really takes control of things. It's all well shot by James Wan, slightly up in the style stakes a couple of years after Saw, and just before moving into horror with Dead Silence, Insidious and The Conjuring. There's plenty of those horror-style dark and grimy interiors as Nick faces off against the gang in various locations. The performances are generally fine, though Kelly Preston as Nick's wife Helen and Jordan Garrett as his son Lucas don't have much to do other than look sad and cry. Aisha Taylor is decent as an extremely unsympathetic detective, constantly warning Nick away from the gang and basically saying told you so once his actions have tragic repercussions.
You want your retribution, and you kill a couple of punks, and it bought you what? Huh? Everybody thinks they're right in a war. Everybody still died in the end. You were never gonna win this, Mr. Hume. Nobody is.
The gang have a few interesting faces, including Garrett Hedlund, who's appropriately menacing as Billy.
So that's what we're gonna do? Why don't you show a little fucking respect at least? See, that is why you guys are nothing. That is why you're a bunch of fucking punks, because you would rather drink up and toke yourselves fucking witless. Witless and scared shitless!
Eddie Gaffegi is in there, good in a million things and now finally recognised after being Mr. Terrific in 2025 Superman. And Lee Whannell turns up as he does in a lot of his mate James Wan's films, even when he's not writing them. John Goodman is good in the creepy weirdo bad guy role he sometimes gets to play. I found 4.5 out of 10 grams of gold in Death Sentence. The action is decent when it arrives, it's well shot and it has a meaty impact. The script though isn't all that great. Nick jumps to revenge very quickly and he finds it very easy with only a minute or so of possible regret before all hell is brought down on his family for it. And even after that, what little self-analysis he has seems to only function to slow the film down a little before ramping up for that final act.
The equation. Sometimes it's just chaos. That's all there is.
Maybe this shouldn't be a surprise, as this is based on Brian Garfield's novel, which was the sequel to the original Death Wish. If you like these sort of noughties revenge thrillers which try to turn our middle-aged stars into action heroes, it's worth a watch, though it neither excels or does anything too interesting within the genre.
Look at you. You look like one of us. Look what I made you.
Thanks for watching. Punch those like and subscribe buttons in the face and join me next week when I'll be moving 1 degree away from a Baconator and watching something with John Goodman in.
Go your way now. Go with God. Bag full of guns.
Bye!